welcome back everybody. As I mentioned in the last video that I took, I'll be going over different resistance workouts that you can do from home with household items as weights. So with the risk of getting COVID-19 lately, many people have been concerned about going to a gym, and many gyms have actually periodically shut down due to a COVID-19 outbreak at their location. So if you ever experience anything like that, these workouts should be beneficial to you. Turns out you don't have to go anywhere to get a good resistance workout in. You can actually do it in the comfort of your own home. So many of the items around your house can easily be used as weights. And although it seems non-traditional, it can still be of benefit to you. As I mentioned in my last video, I'd like to acknowledge that when you're using my exercise videos, to use common sense to reduce and avoid any injuries, you'll want to check with your doctor before beginning any fitness program. And by performing any of these exercises, you're performing them at your own risk. I will not be responsible or liable for any injury or harm you could potentially sustain as a result of these fitness videos or any information that I've shared. Again, thank you for understanding. So, with that being said, before I get into these workouts you can do from home, I'd like to discuss some things about resistance training first. First of all, I think that there are 4 main training goals that a person can have when weight training, and those are power, strength, hypertrophy, and endurance training. The easiest goals to attain from home will likely be hypertrophy and endurance-based training, just because of the lack of heavy equipment available, and might be unsafe to perform any heavy lifting movements for strength or powerlifting. So our first workout that we're going to do is an upper body based workout. We're going to start with military press with jugs. Then we'll do some YTWs, push-ups with a backpack on, windmills with shampoo bottles, and then straight or lateral raises. We'll do about 3 sets, about 10 to 15 reps on each of these, and I'll go over the form with all of these in just a second. So our first exercise that we're going to be doing is military press. Now I'm using weights for this, but you can definitely use like gallon jugs or laundry detergent jugs, something heavy with handles. So for this, you can either do it standing or sitting like I am. And you gotta keep your back erect and your core tight this whole time. Really want to make sure you focus on stabilizing that core. And then you want to bring the weights together at the top of each rep. Alright, so for this next one, we got the YTWs, which is a great upper back workout. It's really good because you don't need to use super heavy weight. You can actually use pretty light weights because you're extending the weights out away from your body, so it makes it seem heavier. So for the first part of this, you want to extend your arms straight out in front of you like you're making a Y with your body. For the next one, you want to bring them straight out to your side like you're making a T. And then the last one, you kind of want to bring the weights to your ears almost and kind of flare your elbows straight back behind. Alright, next we got our basic push-ups. So for these, I like to use like a backpack or whatever is easiest to lay on your back. You can fill the backpack with anything, so I think that's the best way to go, and you can put as much weight on as you want to vary your resistance. For this, you can also do wide, normal, or close grip push-ups. Just want to make sure your back is straight the whole time. Alright, so next we got the windmills. These are also nice because you don't need super heavy weights to do them. You want to start with a hand plank position with your back straight, just like you'd be in a push-up position. For this, you can use either shampoo bottles, gallon jugs, or however much you want for weights, depending on your strength. For these, you want to make sure both your feet are on the ground, and you want to rotate your torso one way, bringing your hand all the way to the sky. For this, you want to make sure your core is tight, and you want to make sure the motion is slow and controlled, just so you don't extend that shoulder too far. Alright, and lastly for these, we're going to do the straight or lateral raises. For these, you can use gallon jugs or anything with handles, just so it's easiest to grip. You're going to keep your arms as straight as possible on both of these, and raise either laterally until parallel with the ground or straight in front of you with your arms parallel to the ground. Alright, so for our lower body section of these workouts, we're going to do some squats with a backpack, lunges with gallon jugs, some kettlebell swings with gallon jugs, box step-ups with a backpack, and calf raises on steps. For each of these, again, we're going to do about 3 sets, about 10 to 12 reps, just because it's the easiest to do while training for hypertrophy or endurance. So our first exercise we're going to do is some back squats with a backpack. Again, this is the easiest one to use just because you can put as much weight or as little weight in it as you want, just to vary the resistance. Yeah, just like a normal squat, you want to make sure keep your back as straight as possible and get your legs just about to 90 degrees on the squat. So as I'm turning right here, you'll be able to see about the depth you want to get for each of these squats. So yeah, right about there. Alright, for this next one we got some lunges. Again, I have weights, but you can use like gallon jugs or any heavy object at your sides. For these, you want to step forward, and like I have right there, do not bring your knee past your foot just because it's a little unstable, and that gets your full range of motion then once your knee is directly at like a 90-degree angle. Alright, so next we got the kettlebell swings. Thought the easiest thing to use for this is a gallon jug just because the handle, you can either use a laundry detergent jug too if you have one of those that might be heavier. For these, you really want to focus on driving your hips and going into about a half squat. If you're doing this, driving your hips, the weight should bring itself up to about your chest level. So you do those. We got about 3 sets of 12 for these. Alright, so next we got some box step-ups. Probably be easiest to do it on like a chair or like an ottoman like I have. A chair would probably be more stable, and there'd be less give to it. Again, but yeah, you can use a backpack for this, or you can do it without weight. It's up to you. Yeah, for these, we want to take a step up and drive our opposite knee, whatever knees is not on the chair. We want to bring it up to about 90 degrees. And lastly, we got calf raises. For these, you can use a backpack or any weight at your size, like dumbbells or gallon jugs, whatever you have. Probably be easiest to do these on the stairs just because the ottoman is a little unstable. Just didn't have a really good opportunity to film on stairs. It was kind of a difficult angle that I had it at. So, yeah, just make sure you get your heels below your toes and then drive it up, contract your calves, and hold it. Alright, so hypertrophy based training gives one the best blended benefit when it comes to the 4 training goals, just because the weight used is a little heavier and there are less reps involved than endurance based training. So you get a little bit of all 4 of them with that. Endurance training, however, is easy to do from home because many of these workouts will have a high rep count or even reps until failure with lightweight. So when doing these exercises, I try to use mainly hypertrophy-based rep counts. So many of these exercises will be comprised of about 3 sets to about 10 to 15 reps. And this can be altered a little bit depending on your physical fitness, and you just have to know and understand your body. Some of these items that I'll be using that can be found from home are just like any other basic items. So like gallon jugs, laundry detergent jugs, backpacks with books or any other weights that you can find, or like cases of soda or water. Also, if you have a stool or an ottoman of any sort that you can lay down on, that can also be useful, or any type of bench. So with that being said, let's get into the workouts. Alright everybody, so this is going to conclude this topic in this video. I hope everybody's able to learn a little something new, maybe even feel like that they're able to incorporate something that I went over into their normal workout routine. It can be tough to be motivated to get out and exercise at times, but I hope it's able to show you that it's easily, very capable of doing it from home. Again, training for hypertrophy or endurance training is the easiest way to train from home, and it's definitely the safest. And these 7 exercises are meant to be done with lighter weight, and you don't even need to use heavy weights to benefit from resistance training, so keep that in mind. For my next video, I'll be discussing more about different training goals, kind of what I touched on earlier, and how to go about attaining them. So hopefully we'll see you there, and thanks for watching.